One of our viewers asked this question. We're a couple, 65 and 68. We have not retired. However, we're nervous about our retirement expenses. Stay tuned for this full episode. Thank you for watching. This is Richard with Wisdom Investor. We're going to take a look at this question here today. We have a couple. They haven't retired yet, but they're concerned about retirement expenses. Let's take a look at this question here. My husband and I are 65 and 68. We have $790,000 saved and monthly expenses of $5,000 per month, which will be covered by Social Security and income from rental income. I'm very nervous about going from being employed to living on passive income and the cost of health care. Your thoughts? Let's take a look at some of the facts in this case here. The good news here, they have $790,000 saved up. Their income right now covers their expenses from Social Security and the passive income from the rental properties. Longevity, they should be able to live at least another 20 years or more. Definitely recommend having a living trust in case they pass away. They want their money be distributed properly. They're close to full retirement age, and one of them is very close to maximizing their Social Security. They have the rental property income, and then they're going to also have value on the real estate property. What are some concerns coming up? We've got inflation down the road, healthcare. Are there pre-existing conditions with healthcare involved here? The rental properties, is there a possibility of a loss of tenants? They're also going to need to be thinking in the future about the required minimum distribution, the RMDs. They must take out money out of their accounts if they have IRA and 401ks by the age of 72. Okay, let's see if we can help them become less nervous about their retirement. Strategy one here would be to sell the rental units, and when they will no longer have to be property managers. That would be a big relief for them. However, it would take the income away from them by no longer having tenants. But the good news too, they should be able to sell those rental units. They must have some type of equity in them, and they would be able to add those assets to their $790,000 they already have. Now, we don't know what their Social Security amount is, but on the average, couples in which both parties receive Social Security benefits, they receive $30,991 a year. That's $2,588 per month. Let's take a look at their strategy on the $790,000 total savings. I would definitely set up an emergency fund and put away at least $75,000 to cover real estate, home repairs, healthcare expenses, car upgrades, vacations, and more. So in option one, we're recommending sell the rental properties and also begin to set up an emergency fund. So here's how this looks. Option one here, and we start out with $790,000, $75,000 emergency fund we're going to set aside. That's going to leave $715,000 savings balance, and then also recommend selling the rental property to free up time and energy. Now, we don't know the value of their rental property, but it could be anywhere from $350,000 to $1.5 million, depending on where they live. Those assets would be added to their full value of their estate. We said their expenses were $5,000 per month. They're bringing in $2,500 estimated from Social Security benefits for the two of them added together. That's going to leave them with a $2,500 deficit because they'll be losing the rental income. So at this point, they may want to look at this $5,000 monthly expenses. Is there a way to possibly reduce that? Let's say for right now, we don't have a way to reduce that at this point, and it leaves them with a $2,500 deficit because they've lost their rental income. We're going to take a look at this $715,000 saving balance, and we're going to look at withdrawing money from this to cover this $2,500 deficit, and at the same time, how long would this money last with a 6% return? We're going to use this calculator here. Their current savings, $715,000. We're going to propose withdrawing $3,000 per month. Annual withdrawal increase 2%. That's allowing for 2% inflation. So this $3,000 would increase each year. Annual before tax return on savings, we're going to be very conservative at 6%. And we're going to estimate their tax bracket at 22%. So if we run the calculations on this, their money's going to last them about 28 years. So here's how this calculation looks. It's going to start off with 715,000 balance, earning 6%. Recommend, say, a 50-50 balance of stocks and, say, bonds, for example. And we're just using a conservative number of 6% return, taxes 22%. The withdrawals are going to be $3,000 per month, growing each year. And then, of course, we'll be taking out the tax out of this also. So each year, because the amount coming out plus taxes, this money's going to last 28 years. So here's how that looks. We said there was a $2,500 deficit. We're going to withdraw $3,000 per month from the $715,000 savings that's invested. The money will last them 28 years. We said the average person that makes it to 65 is going to live at least 20 years. Now, there are more and more people that are living into their 90s and even 100s. One thing you don't want to do is outlive your money. Of course, you want to try to spend as much as you can. You don't want to leave a lot of money on the table. If you do, that can go to future inheritance. And that will still leave the assets from real estate sale, which is, I'm estimating, $350,000 to maybe over $1 million. If we go back to some of their concerns, healthcare, pre-existing health issues that may be going on, so that can eat up your money in a hurry. So I think in this option one, selling the rental units could free up time and take away energy from having to manage the assets, invest the money, a 50-50 balance, equities to bonds on the $715,000 plus the assets on the home sale or the rental unit sale. And I think this person's going to be able to live a comfortable retirement. Let's take a look at option number 2 here. Again, they have their $790,000 total savings. We're going to put $75,000 emergency fund. That leaves $715,000 savings balance. Their monthly expenses, they said, was $5,000. Their Social Security benefits plus rental income was $5,000, so that was covering their expense. And let's say they invest the $715,000. They have a return, an average return of 6% per year. They put it into 50% equity and 50% bonds. And we're being conservative here. Some years are going to be higher than that. Some years will be lower. That would bring them $42,900 extra income coming in before taxes. If they were a little more conservative with their money, earned only 4%, that's $28,600 per year income, and they would still have the $715,000 in savings. Again, we have not calculated taxes on this, so there would be some additional taxes. So I think option 2 would also be a way that they could reduce some of the nervousness, some of the stress. Now, they would still have to be concerned with the tenants, losing tenants, but they're going to have additional income coming in to take care of those times when maybe the unit is not rented. Something else I would think about is finding ways to reduce that $5,000 per month expense. You may want to sell those rental properties at some time down the road, so you'll want to get that expense down as much as possible. So we looked at 2 different strategies here. If you'd like to leave your comment or your strategy, leave it in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future updates.